Hello again, this is Mrs. Weekly, and in this tutorial we're going to cover just the basic setup of how Seesaw works. If you have signed in already, your screen should look like this. If you have not signed into Seesaw, please go back and do that. If you need help signing in, there is a previous tutorial that you can go take a look at to help you do that. After you sign in, your screen should appear like this. Up in the left-hand side, you will see your child's name here. My student's name is 02, but yours will actually have their real name here. This is just an example. Right below it, it shows you how many classes your student is currently enrolled in. Right here tells you what you're currently looking at in this work area. This is the workspace. Right now we are clicked on the journal, so that's what shows in this area. You can scroll through and see previous posts to the journal. Okay, we'll talk about these things in more detail in some more tutorials later on. This is just to cover the basics so you can see what it looks like. Right here you can switch your views, and we will cover that a little bit later. This is the add button. We will also talk about that in another tutorial, but that is where your student will go to add things to Seesaw. In this area here, you can see what class you're currently looking at. So right now we are looking at the technology class, and you can also tell that you're in a student account because it says student below the class name. Right here is where you can toggle between the different options in Seesaw. So right now, again, we're on journal, so that's why it shows journal right here. There is a tab called activities, and if you notice, it changed to say activities here, and the workspace has changed to look differently. Again, you can still scroll through it to see all the different activities, and we will again talk about those in more detail later. Right here is your inbox. This is where you will get messages. So if the teacher sends out a class announcement, it will show up in the workspace again. So here I had posted a class announcement on August 12th, and that says, hello, welcome to this tutorial class. You also have an additional tab here with notifications. And typically when you have a new notification that you haven't looked at yet, you'll see a red number just like the one here on activities. It'll appear right here on the inbox if you have any notifications you haven't read. And it'll have a number in it, and that just tells you how many notifications you have. So here are some notifications for this student here, for number 2 student. And it says like somebody, number 1, commented on your post and said, hey, somebody, the teacher, me, commented and said, hello, I added an item to the journal. Here is another, and it's sorted by days. So like on Monday, I added an item to the student's journal. I just tagged them in something that they needed to look at. Here on Tuesday, I did, or 4 different things happened. This final tab here will not appear on everybody's. I turned it on so you can see it in case your teacher turns it on. It's just the classroom blog. Some teachers will use it, some will not. Basically, it works just like an online blog, but it's not public, just the students can see it. But when a student posts to the blog, and once the teacher approves it to be posted, then it'll show up for all students to see, because other things are kind of hidden from the other students. So for example, in the journal, other students have posted things into this journal, but you can only see the posts that include your child. So as you can see, this right here has this child number 2 included in this post. That's why they can see it. If they weren't included in the post, it will not show up in the journal. But if the teacher does a blog and post to the blog, then they could see all of the posts. For example, this student, number 3 student, had posted something and the teacher approved it to go onto the blog, and now the number 2 student can actually see that post. That is the basic setup, and I'll go into more detail in some other tutorials.